And we are so fortunate to be joined today by Coach Bill Stubbs. I'm still going to say of the Riverside Academy Rebels, because being from Laplace, once you're a rebel, you're always a rebel. So, Coach Stubbs, welcome to PRI.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Bill, it's always good to sit down and chat with you, man. 4 state championships, 3 at Salmon, 94, 95 with Dwayne Woods and Brandon Dale, and 2000 with Tristan Smith, and this year with the Riverside Rebels. What makes any of those championships special? What makes this championship this year different from maybe the rest?
I think there's a lot of similarities, of course. It's difficult to try to pinpoint and say, well, this is different, this is different, this is different, because the ingredients are always going to be the same. I think that the relationship amongst the players are huge, and having the opportunity to go all the way and win. I think that we talked about it earlier. I think that there's a certain style of work ethic, and that starts in December of the previous year. I think that there's a lot of elements that you can have a really. And you talk about 94, 95, 2000. You talk about some great football players, but you can have a lot of great football players on your team and not be as successful and not have the opportunity to win. I think that when you drill it down, I think it's more about those kids and how they come together and ultimately what they want to accomplish. You can sit here as an adult and as coaches and beat that till monkeys jump out your butt, but it's it really does. It always is going to turn back to the kids. It's been my experience. I've seen a lot of teams that have been just so talented, but never get to that point. We've been fortunate because I think that we prescribe to a model where we build and we work together as a unit, and we're building kids. We do so many specific things, in terms of training that you have to do in order to get to that point. And so you build in December for the following year. And but in terms of what makes them all special, I really believe it's the kids. I really do. I think it's all about the kids. So.
Yes, because there's a difference between activity and achievement. There's a lot of people that look busy and really aren't getting things accomplished. But and you're right, it comes down to the kid, what they get out of their work.
Well, and I agree with that. And I think that but it's the same thing with the coaching staff. If you all have the same message, and they're hearing the same things every day, whether it be in the hall, whether it be after school, off season, whatever, they're hearing it. They're getting the same message all the time, and so if you have all the coaches are on the same page in terms of what that message is. You're looking at that kid, you're looking at the way that kid works out, you're looking at that last rep, that game day rep or whatever it is, and then, once those kids buy into that, then they become responsible for making sure those kids, their teammates are doing X, Y, and Z. I mean, it's pretty amazing. And so those are some of the things, I think those are some of the things that are the ingredients to winning.
Billy, you had championships at Salmon and you won in 2016. What are you going to do to fill this void now? And you're leaving on top, but why was this the time to go?
Well, I think, Rick and I talked about it. You kind of feel yourself, like Rick said, you're tired on Monday. And that and the idea that sometimes maybe you'll see a problem, but I don't want to address that problem, so I'll just kind of turn and look the other way. Certain things will, and you feel it. And, I've always been a type of guy, like, I'm going to go to work and I'm going to give you everything I got. But I knew there on the backside of it that I was starting to wane a little bit, and so I can't take a check if I'm not going to be 100%. So that was ultimately why I felt like it was time to go.
It's about energy.
It is. It is.
Yes. Yeah.
If you're going to expect things from kids, then you're going to have to step up and do the same thing.
It's a principle actually of thermodynamics, increasing energy, decreasing entropy. That if you don't have the energy, then you're just going to have
Listen to this
chaos.
guy, man. God,
Oh yeah,
Thermodynamics.
we gotta look.
Can you spell that?
This is WHNO, baby. We kick it up a notch here. In looking back, two different circumstances between Salmon and Riverside. You had a break in between, a sabbatical in between the two. What makes Bill Stubbs Bill Stubbs? What is the Tao of Coach Bill Stubbs?
I think that my best attribute is probably managing people. You know, I've always been smart enough to get the best and the brightest people around me. I do what I do best, and and then they do the rest. And I know what I'm good at, and I know, where I'm deficient. And where you're deficient, you bring those people in. The best of the best. And I'll tell you this, this group. I've always been blessed to having really good coaches. This group that I had, probably the youngest group that I've ever had is in terms of coaches, but gosh dang, they were good. To be able to go into their office and the way that they interface and the way that they enjoy each other, and they're best of friends. So don't tell me the kids don't see that. And they see how close those coaches are, and they know that that's part of the equation to be able to be successful. So, it's all, there's a lot of pieces. The kids always laugh. They always talked about the intangibles. Yeah, we can be big, we can be bad, we can be strong, we can be fast, we can be all that, but there's so many intangibles. And I beat on that over and over and over again. So, and I think our coaches felt the same thing. So we all gave the same message to the kids.
In the last minute, Billy, how do you leave a better person than you when you started as a coach?
Well, I'll tell you what. I ask myself that in church all the time. Did I do all of the things as a human being that I should do in order to positively influence young kids? Because they have so many challenges today. Boy, the difference when I stopped in 2000 to when I re-entered in 2012, the difference in what the kids have to go through. So I hope that I was a positive influence on these players and these kids, because gosh, that's what we have to do.
Right.
That's what it's all about today. If we lose the youth, we're done.
That's why we're in the game,
Yep,
Coach.
yep.
And you know that, anybody, that is Coach Bill Stubbs of the Riverside Rebels.
Ex-coach.
No, you're still there. At least till the end of the year.
Yeah.
But isn't it amazing how all of a sudden nobody listens to you anymore? You don't have
that's
anybody to talk to.
Phone stops ringing, which is a great thing. You don't have to deal with all the problems.
Media.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you
Everything.
get to do what you want to do instead of
Yeah.
what you have
Yeah.
to do.
Yeah, it's a joy.
But once again, that's Coach Bill Stubbs. Thank you for being with
Thanks,
us
guys,
today,
for
Bill.
having me on.
We appreciate
Appreciate
you
it.
so much. This is Prep Recruiting Insider, PRI here at Cellos in Metairie. We'll be back after a brief timeout with more information you can't get anywhere